The Pale Blue Eye has been out on Netflix for over a month now. A new film from Scott Cooper, who made Crazy Heart, Hostiles, and Antlers. This new one is based on a novel written by Louis Bayard and stars Christian Bale, Harry Melling, Simon McBurney, Timothy Spall, and Toby Jones. It's a period piece taking place in 1830 in West Point, the famous American military academy, and the surrounding areas. The story starts with Christian Bale's character Landor, who is a former policeman, now living alone in a cottage in the woods and drinking his life away after his wife died some time ago and then his daughter left him. He is being suddenly called to West Point, and when he arrives there, he is asked to investigate the death of one of the cadets, who seemingly hanged himself at night, but weirder still, whose heart was then cut out by unknown persons. This suggests an occult angle and the possibility that this wasn't a suicide after all, that this was a murder all along. So Landor starts to dig around it with an unexpected partner, Edgar Allan Poe, played by Harry Melling, who is a cadet at the academy as well at the time. And even though he's kind of a weird outcast among his peers, he quickly proves to be a smart, resourceful helper on the investigation. So it's a fictional story with a real historical figure in it who theoretically could have taken part in a story like this at that time and in that place should it have happened. It's kind of a classic detective story with two intelligent leads working their way through various clues, false assumptions, and towards the final solution. It's well written and well acted, and it also has decent pacing. And I say decent because I felt that around the middle part the movie was starting to lose its steam and for me getting a little bit unfocused, and I was sort of preparing to be disappointed by it. Plus, in the middle part, I also started to think that some of Christian Bale's acting wasn't working for me. Like, he wasn't doing the things that I was expecting this character to be doing, or he wasn't doing them in the way that he would have made me anticipate. But then the final half an hour happens and resolves both of those problems, because when the solution is finally revealed and presented to the audience, it is elegant, it ties up all the loose ends, it resolves plot points which I thought were going completely nowhere before, and it explains Bale's choices perfectly as well. So if you watch the film and it seems strange around the middle part, be patient, give it a chance to explain itself, and I promise it will be worth it. I like the production design, the clothes, the buildings, the way people look and talk, and I like the overall atmosphere of this cold winter on the eastern coast of US. However, I have to say that the film does have that polished, digital, boring look emblematic in many of the Netflix productions. It's almost like the producers of those movies are afraid to let the directors and cinematographers experiment a little bit with the look of those movies, and they all end up looking very uninspired and pedestrian. But I didn't think it was a horrible transgression. The movie isn't ugly either. It's just that it isn't as pretty or as interesting visually as I think it could have been, and I think it should have been. I found it engaging and satisfying to watch anyway. And Harry Melling, who I think I haven't mentioned up until this point. He gives a great performance as Edgar Allan Poe, and he's sort of quietly left behind his early role of Dudley Dursley in the Harry Potter movies in the last couple of years. And between The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, The Queen's Gambit, and now this, I think he's grown to be a very, very interesting character actor. Great stuff from him and a solid movie overall. You can check it out on Netflix.